38. Why did you stay insular for so many years and not mix with people in the music business? Well, when I first became successful, I had a very, very difficult time with the press and a very difficult time with the public. And I reacted to that in a relatively juvenile way, I suppose, by just keeping out of the way, really. A lot of things are said about me by other pop stars, Mick Jagger, Bowie and Eno and lesser ones. And I wasn't too keen on what they had said either. So all in all, I just built up a very poor picture of what the music business was like, and I didn't want to have any part of it. And I kept myself to myself, built my own little bubble in the corner, and just stayed within that for the next 15, 16 years. "39. How does it feel to be constantly name-checked as influential by some of the biggest artists in the world?" Well, it feels very good, actually. It makes me very proud, very gratifying. It is an incredible experience to do. It's all the more so when the people that are saying that you've been influential on them, these are people that I actually admire myself, and so it's doubly rewarding to hear that people that I think are some of the most innovative musicians in the world today actually look to me as being an important part of their growth. I can't think of anything better for a musician than having that kind of recognition from other artists. Something that I'm still coming to terms with, still haven't got used to. In some ways, I'd like to be cool about it, the way some other people are I know that are considered and often quoted as being influential. They are very, they appear to think they deserve it, and I don't. I don't think that at all. 40. Why has your relationship with the press improved so much? I think it's a number of things. First of all, having all these artists saying good things about me has obviously made them question what they said about me in the past and whether the songs were quite as rubbish as they said they were. Bearing in mind that some of the songs that were talked about as being absolutely dire by the press in their day are exactly the same songs that are now being covered by some huge stars. So I guess that kind of has some bearing on it. I think also my own songwriting has improved dramatically since the Machine and Soul album in '92, and that's obviously got something to do with it. Also, I've been encouraged to socialise more, which is something I didn't do at all for most of the career. And that means I'm now meeting people face to face that had previously only read about me from press clippings, which wouldn't have given them a good impression at all. So I think it's a collection of all those things really put together. I saw one thing that said the reason that it's cool to like me again now is because I'm good again now. That's one way of covering your ass, I suppose, isn't it? 41. Do you feel that the credibility you now have is long overdue? I don't know. I don't think it matters whether it's overdue or not. The thing is, I now have credibility for songs that when they were released were rubbished. And so in that sense, I guess somebody could say, yes, it is overdue because you should have had it then, but it doesn't work that way. It takes time for people to recognise the influence of some songs that, first of all, just weren't appreciated at all. In some ways, it takes the next generation of musicians come along to actually make a fuss about their influences, which is what's happened to me. So it's not a case of whether it's overdue or not. I'm just glad it's here. I wouldn't say it's made me a confident songwriter, but it's certainly given me confidence to go out and mix with other people and feel like I belong and that I deserve to be there. 42. How did you recover from your financial problems of the early 90s? We began by cutting all unnecessary outgoings down to a minimum, which sounds obvious, but is actually harder to do than you think when you have a very large amount of things going on all the time. You need to get new equipment to keep up to date and to be competitive, computers, music, all that kind of thing. And so you become very, very careful about what you buy and when you buy it. You don't try to follow every new invention that comes along. You become very, very selective. You also, or what we did was try to do as much of the work as possible. So I ended up doing all of our artwork, for example. That's how that started. I was buying certain things, software particularly, that was difficult initially to get hold of, but ultimately we felt would save money because I would be doing more things. This includes pretty much everything, actually, do artwork, t-shirts, record sleeves and so on, and that made a big difference. And just everything across the board, we just cut back as much as we possibly could. But it's very difficult, obviously, because you still need to be competing with other people that are pouring a huge amount of money into what they're doing, so you have to become very creative and very inventive to find ways of getting around that lack of money problem. And then bit by bit, whereas you was earning £10 and spending 11 or 12 or 15 in some cases, there comes that day when you earn 10 and you actually spend 9 or £9.99, and there's a turning point. And as soon as you reach that turning point, then progressively from then on, providing you stay very, very tight and careful, you can begin to pull yourself out of it, which we've done. And to be honest, it's one of the things I'm most proud of all the things that we've been through, all the ups and downs and so on, is that we were in such a terrible state, and managed to pull ourselves back to now it is quite comfortable again. And I'm hugely proud of that. 43. Do you like dance music? I see myself as a relatively conventional songwriter, and I tend to listen to music most of the time as a source of inspiration and ideas. I like to check out what other people are doing and hope that some of it will strike a chord with me and send me off into directions I may not have thought of otherwise. And so I see it almost as music school, really, listening to other people. The problem I find with dance music as a songwriter is it's all very much of a certain kind of tempo, certain types of sounds, but I find that because of that, it is inherently limited and very, very tightly controlled and regulated in what you can do to be dance music, and no lyrics, or very few lyrics, for example, to my ears anyway. No great variation in atmosphere and vibe and so on. But I'm sure people that are into it would give me 1,000 reasons why that's true, but for me, I don't hear it, and so I feel that I can't learn anything from it that's relevant to what I want to do, and so for that reason alone, I don't have that much interest in it. And secondly, I don't find a lot of the sounds in it to be particularly to my liking, and the lack of lyrics is a massive thing for me. I like to hear people singing stuff, but in the main, no, it doesn't get to me at all.